Hey everybody, it's Deanna with tools of energyprotection.com, your energy shift expert and Akashic Records advisor. Hey everybody, how you doing tonight? It is December 19th, 2020. Whoo! How many of you are feeling it? How many of you are feeling it out there? This energy is so intense. I can't even fathom what it's going to be like here in the next couple of days. So, I wanted to give you a few things that I've been hearing from people because I realize that we are part of a sense of community. And right now, light workers, empaths, highly sensitive people, we all need to come together and be part of a collective consciousness of a community because the dark side is really active right now. And so I'm going to ask all of you beautiful light workers, empaths, star seeds, highly sensitive people to meditate tonight or to sit quietly tonight and focus on being part of the collective consciousness of other light workers. It's time for us to come together, if only in the etheric body. It is so super important. So I'm going to be succinct because this is a lot coming at us very quickly. And in certain ways, I feel like Wendy, the weather girl, but Deanna, the energy girl. So here's what's happening. Earlier today, I ran the 𝐂𝐿𝐮𝐬 frequencies. That's the heartbeat of the earth. That tells us about the ionosphere, which puts pressure on us in different ways and helps us to either feel good or not so good. So when I ran it a little bit earlier today, this is what we were seeing. I have to look at the times here because, okay, here's what we were seeing. This is, let's see if I can get this on the camera good. This is the 𝐂𝐿𝐮𝐬's frequency resonance, okay? And this is when a lot of activity happens. Let me get this, try and look backwards in the camera. So December 19th, earlier today, this would have been when most of us were attempting to sleep. It was off. And this would have been in Colorado time. This would have been about 9 o'clock. So anyway, what's going on right now is this is what we've been coming into the last few days. This is what I think we're seeing from the last shift of the planets when the moon did the full eclipse, the solar eclipse. I think that's the residue from this. And then we're coming over here and we're seeing a lot of this. And this, oops, this white energy right here is where the energies abruptly just kind of stop. They just stop. So there's a push, 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 and then there's just an abrupt stop. And so I ran the second one just a little bit before I got on. Let's see, 7 a.m. So right here is about 7 a.m. Colorado time. So you can see that there was just a lot of issues going on there. There's the building over here. And I'm sorry if I'm not making a lot of sense right now, but I'm really exhausted. It was so hard to sleep last night. I woke up every 2 or 3 hours. I felt exhausted, like I hadn't slept at all. A lot of lucid dreaming. Sometimes I woke up emotionally and I felt fabulous. And sometimes I woke up, and I felt like it was just horrible. It was I felt like I couldn't go on, just really awful. So if any of you out there are feeling this way, this is just quite normal. Like right now, I feel like somebody is pushing down on me, like I just have a weight, like it's hard to sit up straight and take a breath. these are part of these energies that are so beautiful that are coming in, but it is making it hard to think. And so today I did a meditation to help people shift and open up to these new frequencies. And we also did a plan for trajectory, because everybody, you've got to have a single focus, no matter what that is in your life. Pick one thing, stay focused on it, because that's the only thing that's going to, humble opinion, get you through these times. So here is, let's see if I can get this right here. I'm going to show you what it looked like at 7 o'clock p.m. Mountain Standard Time yesterday. So the white paper is a mark of where we were at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time yesterday. Okay. So then when everybody was trying to sleep, depending on what time you go to bed, where that white paper ends, that was 9 o'clock at night. Look at all that activity. And I call it activity, even though when the white is there, the energies that are push, push, push have stopped. And that's what they're showing you. But it's just a different way of looking at the energy. You know, pushing is an energy and receiving is an energy. So if we look at it that way, then I don't know how many of you could even get to bed. I know I had a hard time, but that white line there, that's about where midnight is. And you see how it just continues to carry out. And we didn't get any decent relief from that. Let's see here. Until about 6 o'clock. And so I just ran that, and here's where we are now. So it's slowing down a little bit. It almost looks like two separate things. You know, here's one thing and here's another. So that is a huge drop in frequency. So what does that mean? You know, my favorite statement. What does that mean? It means that I am so schmeg tired. I'm not sleeping well. You know, I love each and every one of you, and I made a commitment to be on the air more and doing little cute short shots for those of you that are watching this on YouTube or at Tools of Energy Protection. You know, if you can get onto Facebook and get on my feed, you'll see all the little short videos that I do here and there to help you. So if any of you are watching either now or later on the recording, I'm going to watch this again later, but if you're having unstable sleep patterns, can you give me a thumbs up? I would really appreciate to see how many people are having these unstable sleep patterns. I mean, I'm really glad that it's the weekend, because it doesn't matter as much if I'm getting a lot of sleep or not. So, oh, hang on, I gotta put myself on mute here. When I'm doing these recordings, I can't see the comments, but I can on my cell phone. So not only does it feel heavy, but if you have ever had the opportunity to like do training, like weight training, or if you were in law enforcement or in the military, and you would wear these big heavy packs, you know, perhaps a bulletproof vest, and when you put it on, it's just this weight that goes from, like, you know, from here to here. It just, you know, and it's almost in the core of your being. And so that has been going on since yesterday, the day before yesterday. And everybody that I saw at the bookstore on Thursday and Friday, most of those folks were sharing things with me. And when I find a pattern of more than a couple of people, then I start asking around. I text clients, I ask my friends, and then I know it's not just me. So my big message to you is, if you're watching this, if God, Spirit, or Source has brought you here to watch this, it is not just you. Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get an amen? A thumbs up. It's not just you. There are many of us that are highly sensitive, empaths, star seeds, crystalline children, indigo children. Sorry if I'm leaving any of the children out. And we came here with a mission. We came here with a reason. That's why we're on this planet. That's why we're in body. And it's time for you to step up. Ladies and gentlemen, back in March, I kept telling you this was coming. And I'd have tears in my eyes. This is a fight for your soul. It's not about your physical body. They can take your physical body away, but your soul is forever. It's eternal. And you've got to claim your mind, your heart, and your spirituality now. This is the time. Don't waste it. If you're listening to me for the first time and you're like, Deanna, I really don't want to waste it. What the hell are you talking about? It's simple. So I'm going to break it down as simple as I can. And then I'm going to look at my questions. So if you have a question, please post it. If you don't get it, please let me know. But there are people on this planet, just like you and me, in every country around the world that are feeling this, and they understand it. Some are really super awake, and they're like, oh, this is my calling, and I know what I'm doing, and I have this mission. And other people are sitting in the corner going, what the hell is going on? I know I'm supposed to be doing something. So you've got that great expanse. And the desired outcome is, as long as I can get on this platform, as long as I have email, and as long as I can get on the internet on Zoom, I'm going to shape you up as best I can. Because I have a message. I have things that I need to teach you. Sorry, desired outcome is to teach you. And there's other people doing the same kind of work. So I'm not the only one. But we've got to get this message out, and we've got to get it really fast. So a lot of highly sensitive people have come into this planet, and they're in line with families that have similar genetic patterning. Listen closely. There's been a lot of talk. There's one lady that wrote a book about empath survival, and then she turned around and read another book called Empath Survival, or Thrive. So Thrive and Survive. And she was a woman kind of ahead of her time, but, you know, to lead the rest of us. And now that choice is here. So starting in January and February and March, like I said, as long as we have a platform and Zoom, if they do away with social media, then you'll have to come to toolsofenergyprotection.com to find me. But in January, February, and March, I'm going to start teaching, helping, encouraging, illuminating highly sensitive and empathic people about who they really are. And here is a window into that. People are born, souls are put into bodies that genetically often line up with who they're going to be in this life. So if you are highly sensitive, if you are empathic, listen to me. You were more than likely born into a family of narcissists, alcoholics, workaholics, sociopaths. If you don't know what those are, go look them up, because I've had some clients over the last few days that are like, oh, well, I never thought my parents were that until you explained it. So go find out. This is a time to educate yourself. There's so much schmegging information. All you got to do is type, and boom, right there it is. You don't even have to go to the library anymore. So get your butt busy. Because starting January, February, and March, I'm going to be offering a book club, if you will. And we will have one book each month, and we'll meet once a week, and I will clear energies for everybody that's involved. And we're going to look at recovering from narcissistic, sociopathic, psychopathic treatment. And there's some really good books out there that could help you. And I've recommended them to my clients in the past. Some people read them, some people don't. But the desire is to have you read the information that's already there from super qualified people, and then come and meet with me once a week in a group. And we can talk about it and strengthen each other and build each other up, because we need community. The agenda on this planet right now is divide and conquer. Listen to me closely. Divide and conquer. I want you to think of at least 6 ways right now that since March, you've been divided from other people, from touching them, from hugging them. Moving on. Highly sensitive and empathic people have to come together in community. And when I started and became awake and aware again, I was awake when I was a kid, but went to sleep for a while. It was in 99 or 2000. And I tried to join groups of other empaths and other sensitives, and all I found was a room full of egos everywhere. I'm the greatest. I have these gifts. I'm the greatest. I have those gifts. No more time for that crap. Okay? One of my students stepped forward today and shared some information I'm going to share with all of you. He is beautiful. He is gifted. Amazing. But that self-esteem was lacking a little bit when he stepped out there. Okay? You got something to say? Step it up. Yes, I've been in this business for a long time. Yes, I've been practicing and learning and communicating. But I've been telling you, I can't do this alone. It's community. That's what I mean. It's community. It's coming together, loving each other, sharing ideas, and not getting offended. We all have a different package we came in. This is my package. Sometimes it's a little fluffy. But we all have packages we came in. But if you read a book and it resonates with you, like this book, the first one that we're going to do in January, I read this book and I cried because it was like this woman wrote my life. So we're going to read that book together as a group. Whoever wants to show up, I will put the information out. You can sign up. We'll meet together once a week. We'll talk about it, and I'll clear energies, and we will heal. And we'll become a community. You're welcome to join. So I'm going to look at some questions, and then I'm going to share with you what one of my beautiful students shared with me today that I didn't know. It's amazing. All right, I'm going to look at the questions really quickly. Hello to Kelly, beautiful Kelly. Hello, Carolyn. Let's see here. Hi, Keith. Let's see here. Hi, Tanya. Tanya says struggle bus. You'll have to explain, Tanya, what you mean by struggle bus. Becky, woohoo! Yeah, you too. Feeling that heavy feeling. Lauren, it's good to see you. Let's see her. Yes, she says hallelujah. Yay! Chelsea, great to see you. Becky, good. Julie and Renee, I'm so glad to have you aboard. Okay, let's cover a little bit more. Apparently no questions. So these 2 planets coming up, you know, they're like, woo, and they're going to lock in. Before that, we had an eclipse. It was over, I think, near Brazil. It was on the other side where we couldn't see it. That's going to cause a frequency disturbance in the magnetics. This is as simple as I can make it. So if you're just new and joining and going, why am I feeling this way? There's another a page here on Facebook where there's a whole bunch of empathic people that are all feeling it and they have no clue what's happening. So if you know a page like that and you want to share this video or the link, that's great. But what's happening is the electric, your body is salt, water, and electric. How do you think we do this? It's electrical impulses. How your heart runs, electrical impulses. Your brain, salt, water, and electric. And so this conjunction of these two huge planets are shifting the frequency on Earth. Your body is feeling it. That's why you're not sleeping well. That's why you feel like you're carrying around, a whole bunch of weight. And moods. I talked to a lady at the bookstore, and she's so sweet, and she said that she'd been moody lately, and she didn't understand why. And so I described her how my moods had felt. She was like, oh my gosh, you made me feel so much better. So if the last couple days you've been very moody and it's unexplainable moods, like 1 minute you're like, wow, that's so awesome. And the next minute you're like, oh, I can't handle this anymore. That's it. And I hit that a couple of weeks ago. And I literally felt bipolar. Part of me was over here being a teenager, not wanting to do anything and grumbling all the time. And the other part of me was the adult saying, oh, let's go do this. This is wonderful. And that's the battle. That's the battle between these two planets. And their frequencies are going back and forth. And your body and your soul and your mind is trying to decide which way it's going. That's what's happening. Please let me know if this makes sense. Send me some thumbs up, smiley faces. If it doesn't make sense, send me an ugly face. Because it's so important you understand this. I'm looking at my monitor to see if anybody's sending smiley faces. Ooh, I got one heart. So if I'm not making sense, ask questions, put them in the feed. Okay? Again, I got one thumbs up. Okay, I must not be doing my job. Okay, so here's the deal, very simply. The moon is known to pull the ocean tides. Okay, simple science. Wherever the moon is, waxing, waning, full, the ocean water will pull accordingly on the planet. This is science. Go look it up. The ocean water is salt, water, and electric. The bioelectromagnetic frequency goes in there. That's why they tell you don't be in the water when there's a thunderstorm going on. Body is mostly water. I forget, like, what, 80 some odd percent. And the electric is in your brain. Now, with these two big planets going back and forth, and our bodies are going like this, trying to figure out which way to go, let alone our minds and our hearts and our souls. I'm going to go back. Okay, somebody said the meditation helped today. Yay, good, I'm glad. Someone else says, Lauren says, all over the place with work, feeling like changing careers, but mostly feel crazy. Thank you, Lauren, for stepping up and letting me know that's how you're feeling too. Mwah. Hang in there. Not a time to change jobs right now. Becky says that explains how I've been feeling exactly. Thank you, Becky, for that support. All right. Now, the two largest planets in the solar system, they have a lot of magnetic pull. One is Jupiter. One is Saturn. Jupiter in the Greek, translated from the Greek, means, I'm getting a lot of hugs. Oh, yay, good hugs. Okay. So Jupiter, from my understanding, is called a benefic. Big word, benefic. And what I'm understanding, it's the bad-doer. You know, I don't like to put labels on things. Saturn is a malefic, if I'm not mistaken, and it's Greek for good doer. So you got the good doer and the not so happy doer, and they're back and forth because they're approaching each other. And those frequencies, as you get one approaching the other, the frequency going between the two, you know, can you imagine seeing like lines between the two? Or if you've ever brought magnets together and the ones that have polar opposites, you try to get them together and you try to push them and they go like this. If you've ever played with magnets, but if you turn them the other way, they snap together. So this is like two of them trying to adjust. Okay, it's just a frequency. You cannot see it with the naked eye, but you can feel it. So from what I'm understanding, uh-oh, I put some notes down here. One moment. Okay, so the bad doer is translated from a word kakopoios, I believe, big word, Greek. And it relates to social issues, authority, and leadership. Take a look at what's going on with the social unrest, the authorities, and the political leaders. Okay? No judgment, just watching. Okay, so what's coming up? Sorry, to begin my notes. These days seems like I'm taking a lot more. So on December 21st is what's called the grand conjunction. Oops, somebody gave me a laugh. Thank you. We like to laugh. Jupiter and Saturn are going to quit this little dance that they're trying to do to adjust each other, and they're going to line up. Actually, when I was trying to look at them last night, they were almost in so much of an alignment that I couldn't see one for the other. It was kind of funny. But this particular lock, like two Legos coming into position, will happen at 10:20 and 37 seconds Pacific Standard Time in the morning, AM. So that's 10:20, 37 seconds AM Pacific Standard Time. Boop. And if I did the math right, that's 1:20 and 37 seconds Eastern Standard Time. And if you go outside and the sky's clear, you'll be able to see them. It's what they're describing as the Christmas star. Pretty. Good to look at. I will be interested to see what the 𝐂𝐮𝐬s look like then. So once again, so that you can get a visual, I love when science helps out with spirituality so people can see this. But if, let's see here. So 7, 6, 5, 4. Okay, so this is, again, if I can get this out here, what was happening this morning, this morning. And now we've kind of gone into a little bit of reprieve here, over here. So this was working with our mental bodies, our emotional bodies, our physical bodies, and some of our spiritual bodies. But I want you to focus down here. Look at this at the bottom. I'm actually looking in the camera, attempting to do this backwards, so please bear with me. But do you see this little scrubbies right here? And then see the little scrubbies over here, all by themselves? That little energy? I've been looking at the 𝐂𝐮𝐬s almost every day for the last year. I've never seen that. So I ask, you know, I was teaching this morning a class and working with people practicing meditations. And if you'll notice, we also had some of that energy available yesterday. That's the little scrubbies on the bottom down there. right there. And so that's when one of my beautiful academy graduates said to me that his guidance said that's energy for going forward. How beautiful is that? We're receiving energy from the universe as empaths, as highly sensitive people. We are being given energy that we can draw in. I suggest you do it. And if you say to me, Deanna, what does that mean? What does draw in mean? If you're so inclined to meditate, meditate and visualize bringing that energy from the universe to yourself. If you have children or loved ones, visualize bringing the energy from the universe to them. Bring the energy of the universe to them. If their soul's interested, their soul will receive it. If not, you're wasting, it's just a waste, but not of the energy or your time, but it's just, if you bring the energy to somebody's soul and they want it, they'll gobble it up. If not, they'll just let it go. It'll go back to the universe. Someone else can use it. So this, I'm so exhausted. I'm going to go home, prop my feet up, and I've been working all day. But it's so important that you know this, that you know that this fluctuation of the energies, the ups and downs of these energies, the emotions swinging back and forth is all to do with this dance. So you have between now and 10:20 a.m. and 37 seconds Pacific Standard Time before the Lego goes chink or snap, if you prefer. Once that's locked into place, wherever you are, that will be within your energy field for the next 20 years. I don't know about you, but I don't think I'm going to be here in 20 years. I'm coming, I'm doing my job, and I'm going home. But your etheric body, your energy body, whatever is in place, when that goes click, that's going to be in your energy field for the next 20 years. Be careful what you take with you. All right, for those of you that have never meditated, don't know how to meditate, unsure what to do, I would like for you to take a nice hot bath if you have a bathtub available. Put some crystals in it. Take Epsom salt, sea salt, candlelight, and relax. And visualize that your bathtub is a beautiful healing center, and allowing that energy to come in. These little guys right here that we saw earlier. Oops, let's see if I can get this. They're still here. There they are. And then there's some more over here. And they'll be coming in, pulsing until that lock. After that, I don't know. So if you don't have a bathtub, you don't feel like getting wet, you have candles, I hope. Put the candles out. You can pick colors, one for each color of the chakra, if that's what you want to do. Myself, I just light a few candles and I sit on my couch, recline as much as I can, stare at the candles, kind of relax, and then I visualize bringing that energy into myself, pull some of it in for family and loved ones, and some for my daughter, and some for my students. So that's it. It's really that simple. Don't make it too difficult. The other part of this, you've got unstable sleep patterns. Sleep when you can, stay hydrated. I can't tell you, I think I've drank 2 gallons of water today, and I usually only get in about a gallon. And I just couldn't get enough to drink. I finally had to put some vitamins in it, because I was getting that sloshy belly from drinking so much water today. The moods are undulating. Undulating means, right? So your moods are undulating. In that, I recommend that when you are in the not so happy mode, that you make a note either mentally or in your phone or on a piece of paper about what has you feeling so disgruntled. What has you feeling upset, angry, unsure. See if you can get to that. You do it through journaling or meditating or just sitting there and thinking about it. Keep asking the question. Even if you don't get an answer, keep asking the question or just let it go for a while. Maybe to pop in your head when you're in the shower or driving the car. But this is an opportunity to release your fears from the past. When Jupiter and Saturn connect, this is the time for you to take action. So there's some other planets in play, but the desired outcome when you have the bad doer and the good doer and they're back and forth, I'm telling you now, if you don't take action and have courage and go forward in whatever you're aware of in your consciousness now, the bad doer is going to take a hold of your little butt and pull you back into fear and depression and all the other crap that's been a part of your story up until now. If you have action, if you have courage, let me put those in the right order. You are aware of what has been in your past that hasn't been happy, that's been dragging you down. Whatever you're aware of, that's awareness. Step number 1. Then you've got to have courage. Courage is the desire to make the change, to take little baby steps forward, to not think negative thoughts so much, to put something positive that you can look at every day that makes you happy, or carry a totem in your pocket. But take action from the awareness and have courage. Awareness, courage, action. And if you mess it up, just start again. I did talk to a couple of ladies that admitted to me in session that they're having problems with alcohol. That they tell themselves every day when they get up they're not going to drink, and then they do. And we talked about getting some 3D world help, some counseling. But what I've learned is the human brain will get itself in a certain cycle, and that cycle will keep it down. That's the bad doer. So if you're setting yourself up by saying, oh, I'm not going to do that anymore, and then something triggers you and you go and do it again, and then you beat yourself up for having done it, whatever it is, doesn't have to be alcohol, that's insanity. That's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Can I get an amen about insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. That's the white coat thing. Okay? So get the help you need and then take steps forward. Take some action. Find out what your triggers are. Have the courage to look at what's within. Does that mean you can't do shadow work after the conjunction? No. Does that mean that you can't do other kinds of emotional and mental work to make yourself a better person? No. Oh, good. I got some thumbs up. What it means is that this conjunction is bringing in very challenging, beautiful energy, okay? Very challenging, beautiful energy. And please do forgive me if I did put the planets in the wrong spots. I am new at working with astrological stuff. I've been feeling and seeing these frequencies for years. Didn't know how to look at it scientifically until I discovered 𝐂𝐮𝐬 about 1.5 years ago. And I'm super excited that I can actually show people, here's how you're feeling, and they can see it scientifically. So now I'm attempting to bring astrological alignment and into it, and also sunspots or solar spots or eclipses, so I can understand more about that. But if I'm not mistaken, Jupiter is the benefic, and Saturn is the malefic. And Saturn is the good doer. And malefic means bad doer. And this is the first time in I think 400 years we've seen this alignment. I think, and then I've read several different things, and I know it's different stars, different planets aligned, and it's so many thousands of years and all that. But this is a big deal. Whatever the numbers for whatever the planets. So here's how to best use that energy. Between now and 10:20 a.m. and 37 seconds Pacific Standard Time on December 21st, I'd like for you to think about watching a weather map. You know, they'll show you the weather map, and here comes the storm kind of thing. And so you may be preparing. I live in Colorado, so, you know, make sure I have food, and I might ice scraper out and all that other stuff. And so how you can prepare for this conjunction, which really isn't a storm, as you can meditate, sit quietly, ask God, Spirit, or Source to bring that energy in for you, or ask Mother Earth to wash you with it since she's also involved. Drink plenty of water, pray, ask your guides for help. And yes, somebody asked me here in the feed, it says, do we get some relief tomorrow? Oh, Lauren, I love you. I don't know if we're going to get relief tomorrow or not. I'm assuming you're in the States. So my desired outcome is once the planets go click, that's going to set a new event horizon, a new platform, and that we will see visually things changing on the world scene very quickly. And it's going to have to do with money, how money's handled, because there's going to be a lot of power. Remember, this is a time for the planets. These two planets are into leadership, social issues, and authority. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. And what's interesting is that I think the ambiguous they that pulls the strings and runs things from behind the scenes, I think they know about this energy. So I think they're also engaging in utilization, as I'm encouraging you to do, but they're doing it differently. So I don't know if we're going to get some relief. I think spiritually speaking, we'll feel adjusted. Oh, I almost forgot to mention to you, the high-pitched whine in my ears has been out of this world. Has anybody else felt the volume turning up? That high-pitched whine means that it's not tinnitus. It's the connection of the vibrational frequency that is so beautiful, that connects us to God, Spirit, or Source. That's the enlightened collective consciousness. And it is amazing. And I know over the next couple of days, some people may be going with a higher pitch and then lower and higher and lower while it gets adjusted. But we'll see what happens. On the world scene, especially in the US, there's going to be a shift, my guides tell me, and some other things I've been looking at, between the 5th and 7th of January. And it's going to be something that they tell me is just going to be huge. I don't know what it is. They won't tell me. But I think it'll be a shift in the powers that be. And it'll be a big one. But I don't know what that'll look like. So the only thing that you can do is what you're responsible for. And you're responsible for this. Okay? So everybody watching, take your hands and go, I'm responsible for this. Okay? You control your actions. You control your feelings. I know in this energy shifts, it's kind of tough, but one gal commented she wanted to just quit her job, but she didn't. That's controlling your feelings. Good, good. But this is it. It's being in control. It's maintaining yourself while you're going through these frequency changes. It takes courage. And again, some other changes that have been happening, and I'm hearing about them more and more. There are going to be relationships that terminate because the person that's in them can't handle the frequency of the other person in the relationship. And some people are unwilling to shift or change. There's going to be human beings that you know and love that are going to choose to go home. The energy is too great here at this time. They've fought the good fight, so to speak, and they're going to go to the other side in a space of pure love and help from that angle. That's what I see. So if you have any questions, please put them in the feed really quickly. I don't see any so far. But Lauren, I'm going to get back to you if you're still on here one more time. You asked me, does that mean you're going to get relief tomorrow? I don't know. I think for some of us, yes. Because this right down here, let's see here, that's right down here at the bottom. Oops, sorry. I'm trying to look in the camera and do this at the same time. But this little scrubby right down here at the bottom, that's that extra energy that has been put in for us that are awake and aware. Will it be there after the planets lock in? I don't know. But what I do know is that you're beautiful, you're spiritually enlightened, you're awake, you have a mission, you will learn how to be in the physical body, scrub the floors. There was a philosopher, 𝐂𝐿𝐻𝐿, I think it said, he says you can be ascended all you like, but you still have to scrub the floors. So it is your responsibility to work with your own emotions, realize the baggage you have from your past life in this body, and learn how to love yourself no matter what. That's it. It seems so simple. Ascend, scrub the floors. I know a lot of you are challenged out there. You have kids like I do. You have a teenager like I do. One very beautiful woman I talked to the other day, her son is older and is left home, but he has issues and she's very concerned about him. She asked me what to do. Send the energy, pray, ask that his divine self and his guides work it out so that he can straighten out his life. It's challenging, peeps. You want to help, and sometimes you just can't. And it's hard to watch your loved ones when they're in pain and struggling, especially our children. But you keep yourself in this space, do the best you can, be an example, be a light. Please be a light, especially at this time. Okay, I'm gonna look at the questions one more time, and then I think I should go because I didn't intend to be on this long, and you know how it is. Chatty. Okay, question is, I've had the high-pitched whine getting louder. Good, Mary, it will adjust. The frequency will come down. The high-pitched whine just means that you're more connected to that collective consciousness, so I suggest that you take deep breaths, slow your heart rate, and connect as much as you can with your divine self. If you need help, Mary, let me know. I don't officially have any appointments on my appointment calendar for tomorrow because I usually take that day off. However, if you will text me or email me or message me, somebody messaged me the other day on here, and I do apologize because I usually check my Facebook messages, but I just didn't. So I will get to you as soon as I can. And I do have several little time slots tomorrow that I am available if anybody needs last minute help. Um, Hattie says, can you elaborate on the relationships ending? Hattie, are you still on here? Can you send me a thumbs up if you're still on here so I can address that? Okay, thank you, Hattie. So elaborating on relationships ending. Hattie, what I started talking about towards the beginning of this was that coming in January, February, March, I'm going to start working with people that are highly sensitive and empathic to help them heal from psychopath, sociopath, narcissistic, abusive relationships. And so what I've been seeing coming for a while, like I said, on Facebook here, there are, if you type in your search engines, empaths recovering from abuse, that kind of thing, there's several groups. And if you are in any of those groups and you want to share my information, that would be great. I just don't like doing it when I'm in there because then it feels kind of weird. But anyway, the relationships that aren't working, I didn't bring my magnets tonight, but the frequencies aren't working. Hattie, if you are a loving, nurturing, caring person with a big heart, childlike personality, you just love and hug everybody, I'm going to bet that you have problems with being a doormat. That you have challenges where you'll just let people suck off your energy like an energy vampire any old time. And not to be rude, and Hattie, if that's not you and that's not your truth, just please toss it out. And everybody else listen. But what's happening is that the highly sensitive empathic star seeds that are on this planet, we don't know how to shield and protect ourselves because the people that we were born to that were genetically close in disposition to highly sensitive empathic people are on the other end of the spectrum. They were usually born in a time when you had to do and say things. It was very strict. You had to hold it together and look just right, and the happy American family and the 2.5 kids and the white picket fence and all that. And that's the environment they were raised in, or they were in the working class where the kids had to work. You didn't have time for feelings. You just had to, put things out in the field and harvest things so you could eat and survive. My grandparents went through the Great Depression. So trust me, how they raised their kids was totally different than how we're raising our kids today. No freedoms, stay in this box, do these things because we have to make sure that we can eat and pay whatever rent or a house payment during the Great Depression. And people stood in line for bread. It was a very different situation. So one of my grandparents was an empath and a healing empath. She was so beautiful, but she struggled because of the environment she was raised in. And the other grandparent, she was a highly sensitive person, but she ended up having a narcissistic style personality because of the way she was raised. She was sensitive and loving, and she wasn't allowed to be. You got up, you milked the cows at 4 or 5 a.m. You went to school, you learned, you better be making good grades, or they get the switch after you. And then she came home and had to work more on the farm, and it just wasn't lovey-huggy, and everybody in the family was just an individual, and there was no love. Nobody ever said, I love you. Nobody ever hugged. And so those two dynamics came down to me. And I was raised by a narcissist. She can't help it. That's how she was patterned. But the genetics, I am telling you, the genetic coding, the DNA, the spiritual DNA, and some of the physical body DNA are coding for highly sensitive empathic people. That coding is why we chose to come into those parents at that time, was to pick up those codes. And it was also so we could learn how to come into this time period and release the narcissistic tendency, to release the sociopathic tendency. Because watch closely, on this end of the spectrum, you have a psychopath. They're born that way. Their brain is wired. That's the way they were. This person that comes in is a narcissist. This person comes in as a sociopath. On the other end, you have highly sensitive people and you have empathic people of various degrees. They're on the same spectrum. But what takes somebody who's highly sensitive or empathic, what brings them over to the narcissist or sociopathic quality? It's the way they're treated. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why narcissists seem to have empathic qualities. Because at one time they had the spidey senses, they could feel, they could sense, and they knew, just like us. And they got abused, mistreated, their gifts made fun of, and so their inner child went, and built up these walls. But there's still empaths inside the narcissist. They just built up walls so that they can't feel beyond certain things. And that's why some of these relationships are ending, because, Hattie, you, I'm going to guess because the guides aren't telling me, are highly sensitive or empathic, and you were born to parents that were either sociopathic, narcissistic, abusive, workaholics, and you did the best you could to shelter your beautiful self, but you got used to that kind of treatment. So when you went out to have a relationship with another person, with a significant other, you magneted towards yourself what you'd experienced, and that's only normal. That's normal for humans. We like what we know, whether it's positive or negative. And if that's you and you're in this relationship, especially since March, a lot of the empaths and highly sensitive people are like, I am so done with this poop. I don't want to be abused anymore. I don't want anybody plugging into me anymore. I don't like energy vampires. And they're done. And they're pulling away. And that's why relationships are ending. Hattie, if you're still aboard, can you give me a thumbs up and let me know that that was sufficient? That you got your answer? Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I hope the desired outcome is that some of the others of you got some information that makes sense to you. Thank you. Thank you for the cares. Chelsea says, what is a good prayer to repeat? Chelsea? Love you. A good prayer. I don't ever really repeat a prayer. To me, prayer is open communication with God's Spirit or Source. It's like talking to all of you. You know, it's a communication. I feel sometimes it's one way because I can't see you. And that's what prayer feels like to me. It's just an open communication to God's Spirit or Source. Sometimes I hear answers, sometimes I don't. But if you're asking for something to repeat to help you with this transition, make a statement like, I am richly blessed. I am loved by the divine, and I am open to receiving positive energy. Something short, something you can repeat. I am loved. I am loved by the divine. I open up to receiving positive, loving energy. Now, just make something up. Okay. Oh, I'm getting lots of hearts from you. Thank you. All right, Chelsea. Becky, Becky, you know I'm tired. And when I'm tired, I tend to get weepy. But thank you for all the love you share with us. You're welcome, Becky. Mary, you're welcome. Oh, good, Hattie. Okay, Kim, nice to see you. Miss seeing you at the store. Rochelle, nice to have you aboard. Susan, nice to have you aboard. You're welcome. Chelsea says she loves me too. Thank you, Chelsea. And yes, I'll see you soon. And Deborah. So that was the desired outcome, was to get on and cover those things. It's going to be up and down for a while once things, click in. I don't know yet. My guides love me, but sometimes they don't always tell me everything. I think if they did, oh, hi, Deborah. I think if they did, I might not be as brave as I am. Anyway, so December 21st, Grand Conjunction, 10:20 and 37 seconds AM Pacific Standard Time. Rest when you can. Drink plenty of water. Know that your moods are going to fluctuate. Things are going to feel heavy for a while. Be aware. Have courage. Take action. That's it. Deborah says she wanted to be there, but slept all day after 4 days of no sleep. Deborah, I'm so glad that you found peace and sleep. I don't normally like to sleep with the television on, although the last few days I've had something, on and I've fallen asleep. I'm going to highly recommend that, sorry, there's a being in my office. Cool. Anyway, I highly recommend that you find a direction in your life and use this time to reorient yourself. And if your house is chaotic, if you're living with a person who you're wanting to break up with and you don't have the money, you don't have the resources, you don't know where to turn, simply ask your guides, God, Spirit, or Source to show you the truth and the way. Manifesting energy is so quick right now, and you will be shown the way. Okay? So, if you are just joining me at the end, when we get done here on Facebook, I'm going to hit save. And so what happens is if you refresh my page, if you're not watching me directly on my channel, just go up to here and type Deanna Gloyd or click on it. And then I hit save and post, and Facebook will put it up, and then you can watch it from the beginning if you like. Again, tomorrow is Sunday. I normally take the day off. It is my time to just kind of chill and do other things. If you're in a panic, if you need help, if you're afraid about what's going to happen after the conjunction, please don't be afraid. We're going to go on. We're going to keep breathing in and out. Life will go on. But if you're having that trouble, please do reach out to me. Here on Facebook, there's a messenger. You can send me a message on my page, or you can go to toolsofenergyprotection.com. Click on contact, and my email address is down there. And that's it. So I'll probably pop on for a little bit tomorrow and tell you if anything else comes up. But I do love each and every one of you, and I want you to keep rocking it, okay? There's a song that you can go listen to. It's called Crazy Train, and they won't let me play music on here anymore because I have songs I want to play so much, but that the analytics and all that stuff. So go listen to Crazy Train. And then the other song that I really find to be quite dynamic right now is a lot of folks that are average, normal, are telling me that I am nuts. I have no idea what I'm talking about, that I'm a crazy woman. And so my song of choice for tonight would be Billy Joel, You May Be Right, I May Be Crazy. You may be right, do, 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 do. I may be crazy. But it just may be a lunatic you're looking for. Anyway, I better go home. I'm kind of punchy. Have a great and wonderful night. Stay well, and I'll see you later.